Hi everyone, welcome to Beauty Talk. My name is Linda, and if you don't already know, I love everything about skincare, makeup, and beauty. So if you like those topics, you're in the right channel. And today I wanted to share with you this sort of going out makeup that I have done today, and I thought maybe you would like to see that. So if you are interested in seeing how I achieved this look, please keep on watching. But before, I want to ask you a few things. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That means a lot to me. That's going to help the YouTube algorithm kind of push forward my videos so that more people can watch them. Also, don't forget to give me a like, because that's going to help me know that you like this type of content. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I share a lot more beauty tips, but also you may see some of my personal life if you're interested. And also I wanted to share with you that I have actually been doing a professional makeup artist course. So the tips that I'm going to give you, they kind of have, they are based on something. And also, of course, I've learned a lot in so many other places, like on YouTube and from reading, and just by applying makeup on myself, I have learned a lot. So I kind of want to share that with you. And throughout the video, I will be sharing some of my techniques and tips, so perhaps that might be helpful to you. But also, I want you to let me know in the video if you have any concerns about makeup or makeup application. Please let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to prepare a video where I can address these concerns better. So I think that's what I was gonna say. The video might be a little bit long, so make yourself comfortable and please be patient. I'm really working really hard to try to make these videos more concise so that it doesn't get tedious, so they don't get too long and boring for you. But also just because there's so much information that I just want to make sure that it's in here. So hopefully you will enjoy this video, and now sit back and enjoy, and let's get started. So let's begin. Just gonna put my hair away from my face. So I want to point out that I have already prepared my skin, meaning that I have put all my skincare on. So that is, I've cleansed my face, I've put my serum, and I have put my moisturizer and even sunscreen. So I've done that a little while ago now. And for me, this is extremely important. If your skin is not primed in the sense of applying your skincare, your skin will not be nourished enough to kind of like handle the makeup. So beyond just relying on a primer, you want to make sure that your skin is prepared or primed in the sense of applying all your skincare. So I already done that, and my lips, so I also have a lip balm on. However, I am now going to apply a primer, of course, and I'm going to start by using this one by e.l.f. It's called the Poreless Face Primer, and it's really cool. Discovered it recently. So I take about this much, and I'm going to start by applying it on one side so you can see what it actually does. It not only blurs the pores, but it actually mattifies a little bit the skin, which is great because I do have a little bit of an oily skin, especially around the T-zone. So I'm going to just press it in. I don't want to rub it too much because that could interfere with the rest of my skincare and kind of like make it, or potentially make it, ball up. So I put it just in the center of the face where I need it. On the sides of my face, I'm going to apply a different primer. And that is because, like I said, I have already applied my skincare like a little while ago, like maybe over an hour ago. So my skin doesn't have that moisture to kind of hold on to makeup. So kind of like a more hydrating primer would help with that. So I'm going to use this one. This is the L'Or from Guerlain. And again, I'm just going to take a tiny little bit really and apply it more towards the sides of my face. Try not to rub that too much. And this is a really nice primer because it's very lightweight. It's almost like a serum, because it's not silicone-y, like for instance the one from YSL, which I also really like, but it's more like a serum. It's more like a watery texture. So it's really good because it kind of provides like a little bit of hydration, a little bit of smoothingness, and covers a little bit or fills in a little bit the pores, but not as much as this one from e.l.f. But it does a pretty good job in kind of like just helping the makeup stay longer and smoothing the face underneath the makeup. So I'm also going to apply an eyeshadow primer. I'm going to do that right away, and I'm using the one from Revlon. And I take a tiny little bit. You see, just the tiniest bit, because I don't like anything too heavy on my eyelids. My eyelids are kind of like oily, but at the same time, I'm not the kind of person who likes like very heavy primers or using a lot of like concealer on my eyelids. I just feel like that becomes like a little too much. So I prefer to use this one. I find this one, you know, it works well. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it works really well for me. So you can see I have also a lot of like redness. I'm going to see if I can cover that up. I probably need to use a color correcting product to kind of neutralize the redness that I have around my face, but at the moment I don't have one. I am looking forward to buying one. I know that Makeup Forever has a really good one, the green one that's going to help to neutralize the redness. But I don't know, I think I want to try something else. And perhaps if you have any suggestions of a color correcting product, you know, those green ones, to help with this redness, I think I would like to try that and show you how I get on with it. Now I'm going to go in with my foundation, and I'm using at the moment this one from Chanel. It is the Ultra Le Tint All Day Comfort Flawless Finish Foundation. And this is supposed to be like a medium coverage foundation in a more like matte tone. So I'm going to take it like this at the back of my hand. I'm going to actually apply it with a brush. I'm going to try and focus it more like in the center of the face, where I basically need it the most. I pat it and then I slightly buff it in towards the outsides of the skin. So if you're not aware, because maybe you are, because nowadays everybody watches makeup videos on YouTube, but if you don't understand still, like, what's the difference between using a brush and a sponge? So using a brush is usually going to give you a little bit more coverage, whereas if you use a sponge, it's going to give you a little less coverage, and it's going to make the product look a little bit more like a natural. But I want a little bit more coverage today, so that's why I'm using the brush. Just going to take another pump. I usually just get away with using one pump of foundation, but because of all this redness that I have now, I'm just going to try and cover it by adding a little extra layer. I am going to use a little bit of a color correcting product underneath my eyes, which is this one from Charlotte Tilbury, which is obviously well loved. And this one is very creamy, so if you have a very like oily under eye, you may not like it because it's very emollient, but I don't mind it because I do feel my under eyes are rather very dry and dehydrated, so I don't mind this part. And I'm just gonna focus it here. I think you can see already the difference. It's very subtle, see, from one eye to the other, but it really helps to disguise a little bit of the coloration or kind of blueness underneath the eyes. And I just use just a tiny bit, and I just really pat it in. I don't want to drag it, just want to pat it in. And I almost wouldn't need to use much of a concealer, to be honest, because it's already like disguised. It's rather uniform, the skin tone now. But I will go in with a little bit of the Touche Éclat. This is the Touche Éclat in 1. I don't know, let's see if this one has any. Oh, it's a lot. So I'm just going to use that here. I'm not supposed to use too much of this anyway. I don't really like doing this trick too much because I tend to get like little dry here. So adding too much product here, I feel that it's not helpful. But because the touche éclat is not very drying, it always stays kind of like, how could I explain it? It's rather not drying. So I don't mind applying a little bit like that. I'm gonna take, I could just use my finger, which I might just do to see how it goes with my finger. And you see this color also has a little bit of a salmony and pinky color, which is really good to kind of neutralize. It's really good to neutralize any kind of gray or blueness underneath the eye. So that's why it works really well for me. And I prefer that than to those concealers that have too much of a yellowness, or that they're like very kind of like whitish. That doesn't work so well for me. So I think I put a lot, so I'm just trying to carry it over the eyelid so that it can merge with the primer, and then it will just serve as a base for the eyeshadow. Looks pretty nice and bright underneath my eyes. I'm just gonna do this part with a brush. Just think it's a little bit faster. See, by doing this, it's kind of like really helpful because it gives a little bit of light here as well. So I just want to point out that these touche éclat pens that I have, they're not concealer, so I'm not using them necessarily as a concealer. I've already kind of corrected a little bit of the darkness, so I'm just using this over it to bring a little bit more brightness underneath my eye, but they're not meant to correct anything. Before I powder or move on, I'm just going to take a tiny bit of the foundation, because that would be the best way to try and conceal the blemishes, given that I don't have a proper corrector or like some kind of camouflage product to properly cover it. So I'm just gonna use it a little bit where I have that redness with this. This is like a lip pencil. So I'm just like adding and then patting a little bit. So I won't be able to properly cover them, but I will be able to kind of disguise them a little bit by doing this. And before I powder, I like to use some sort of cream bronzer, and I'm using a lot of Chanel today, just to let you know. I'm gonna use the Chanel Tan Sol, what was it called again? Soleil Le Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. That's what I like using this brush. This is from Kiko, from their Wonder Woman collection. It's not available anymore, but I like using this kind of, you know, brush that is kind of tapered at the end, fluffy but then tapered, to apply this product. This is a classic product. I'm sure you may have seen it a lot on the internet. A lot of people like it. I quite enjoy it. I've been wanting to try the Charlotte Tilbury one. She also came out with a cream. I wonder, you know, what do you think? Let me know if I should buy it. I am really interested in her products. I love Charlotte Tilbury's products. So this is how I apply it. I apply it sort of like a C. This is how I like to do it. And then I go a little bit underneath the neck. And then I take a little bit on the eyes as well, just to kind of like make everything look more uniform. I also like to apply a tad on the nose and the bridge of the nose, and again I just bring it all the way down. And I also apply a little bit on the neck, just so that everything is more cohesive. So now I'm gonna go in with a cream blush, and this is the one from e.l.f., the Luminous Putty Blush, and this is really nice. I quite like this. I haven't tried all of the other ones. I think the matte one, but this one is really nice. I like this luminosity. The color is very similar to kind of like Orgasm from NARS, but I just think this color is so nice. I like that it has these kind of golden shimmery bits. So if you don't like shimmer, you may not like that. So I put my blush quite high. I like that. I feel like that's a little bit more youthful. And the nice thing about this blush is that it has like this radiance to it, so it's almost like you wouldn't need a highlighter, but I think it's just so beautiful. So I'm gonna apply a little bit on the bridge of my nose, just make sure that that's nice and blended. And keeping on with the theme of Chanel, I'm gonna use this Le Beige Sheer Healthy Glow highlighting fluid. This is supposed to be for body and for the face, but it's kind of pricey, so I don't think I would be using it. I wouldn't be using it on my body. Had it for a while and I really like it because it's a, how would I say, it's a very subtle highlighting product. So you won't really see, like, it's not gonna do too much like shimmery. It's not shimmery, it's not, you know, it's not heavy, but you need to be really careful because you don't want to move the base. So I just apply it here, high points of my face. It's very subtle. It's already I already have like a nice sheen here, a nice glow, but I just like to apply a little extra with this product. And this is a great product for people that perhaps, just a little bit here, they don't like shimmery highlighters, and it's kind of like what they call like a grown-up highlighter. I really like it, and you can also use it as a base, so underneath the foundation to make it a little bit more glowy. So I'm using this powder. This is the Universal Natural Finish Loose Powder. Poudre Universal Libre. That's what it says. So it's a natural finish and it's in the number 20. I quite like this product, and I think although it's pricey, you get a lot for what you pay. So for me, it's kind of worth it. So the way I like powdering is kind of like using a small brush. This is new. This is from Iconic London. The foundation brush is also from Iconic London. It's their more recent brushes. I'm going to start by powdering especially the under eye areas. You can see how it's taken off the shine. You don't want to overdo it. You can always come back again and add more powder if you need to. But I think doing it like this in thin layers is always better. But you can see how, you know, immediately it mattifies the skin and takes off the shine, but also kind of disguises that little, you know, dent that I have underneath my eyes. You can barely see it now. Obviously, if I do this, you can still see it. But now you can't because of the powder. Powder really helps with that. And the primer that I'm using from e.l.f. really helps to keep this area where I use it mattified. So it's a really good one, really affordable and rather good. So I just keep the powder towards the center of the face. I don't really use too much on the sides because, like, for instance, in this part here, it's not like I really need it. The makeup stays put really well here. So I focus more on the forehead. That's where I need to be mattified. And then on the center of the face, because that's where we have more movement. And, you know, so the makeup can kind of like move and slide around here. So something that I've learned from makeup artists is to, you know, to use both cream products and powders, to combine them. And this is gonna help make your makeup last longer and also just look much more prettier in photos and even in real life. So that I've been doing that. I know you would think that, okay, it takes a long time, but, you know, if you do it fast, if you're already used to it, you can do it really fast. And it just looks really nice, honestly. So I'm gonna take this powder bronzer. So this is the Terracotta, classic Terracotta, the bronzing powder in the shade 3 Medium Warm. And I'm just gonna apply it kind of like similar to when I applied the Chanel one. Just in the same areas. I'm gonna go up my hairline, exactly where the sun would hit me. And then go down here again. But doing that, I've I've sort of covered a little bit of the blush. So what I do is I go in again with the blush. Usually if I'm using another kind of blush, another kind of cream blush, I would use a powder blush on top. But this blush goes really well on top of powders and also lasts really well on top of using it alone or on top of powders. It kind of lasts long as well. So that's why I'm using it on top. Blush tends to fade throughout the day. I'm quite liberal. I don't, mind my cheeks being very rosy because it does fade a little bit throughout the day. Haven't been using this in a while, but I really like it, and it's these kind of finishing powders. You can see I've used it a lot. This is also from Guerlain Terracotta Nude. So this is a finishing powder. It gives you a little bit of a glow. I kind of want to use it with this big brush from my new set from Iconic London. It's really fluffy. And this is the way you want to use this kind of powder. So it's not shimmery. It's not really shimmery. It's just like it's going to give you a glow. I already have like a lot of glow, but I kind of like want to use this anyway. And it's just going to, also set in that highlighter that I use, but just kind of like make everything kind of merge together, if that makes sense. Just makes all the powders and all the other products kind of merged together. I don't know if you can see, but it just looks so nice in real life. I just bring it down everywhere. And this brush is so nice and soft, really fluffy. So I've done my eyebrows, and I might have cut this part out just because I don't want to make the video so long, and because I don't think I'm very good at doing eyebrows. But if you want to see a little bit of an eyebrow tutorial, I'll leave a little short that I made recently, so you can see how I do my eyebrows. But now let's move on to eyes, and I'm gonna use this palette from Charlotte Tilbury. This is a classic palette. This is the palette in the vintage Vamp, and Charlotte Tilbury palettes are really nice, I have to say. I think they're rather worth it. They're rather worth it. So yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. And this is my first palette from her. And I like these palettes because I think they're just so user friendly. It's very easy to use, and it's so easy to use, and yeah, that's it. And the colors are really good. So I'm going to start by taking the lightest color in the palette with a kind of a fluffy brush, and I'm going to apply it all over my mobile lid and ever so slightly on the crease. But I'm not going to go all the way up until the brow bone. But I'm also going to go into a little bit into the inner corner, because this is almost like a highlighting color. So it's going to work to kind of highlight the inner corner as well. Now I'm going to take another brush, less fluffy. This is from Iconic London, both of the brushes I've been using. I'm going to go into this color, which is the lightest of the darkest ones. Just going to take a little bit. And I'm going to start by applying it in my right where my eye bone is. I'm just going to apply it there. Just very carefully. And you don't need to apply too much at the time. I think I took rather too much. I'm not going to stretch the eye, because if I do that, and then it's just going to drop down. So I just keep my eye looking straight into my mirror. Back and forth motions. This is like a really nice color. I love it with my brown eyes, but I think it looks really nice with all colors. So whatever's left, I'm going to take it underneath my eyelashes as well. So, you could just stay like this with a little mascara and you're done if you wanted to. So now let's go in with a darker color. I'm going to use a even smaller brush. This is almost like a smudging brush, and I'm just going to like tap it in the outer V of my eye, trying to kind of like create a little bit of a crease here. Just like that. And then I bring under the eye the rest. I kind of just drag it only in like the inner part, under the bone. Guys, I'm really sorry, and I hope I am not disappointing you too much, but my camera was full, so it didn't continue filming when I was doing the eyeliner. So I'll just briefly tell you what I used. I used this Chanel pencil. It's a long-lasting eyeliner, and I just used it in my waterline, upper waterline to tight line. So I did it and I applied it, and then I waited a little bit, and then I went on with another layer just to make sure that it's nice and black, because my eyes do get very watery and it just kind of can transfer, or you know, the product just doesn't stay put so well. I used a little bit of my powder brush to wipe down any kind of like fallout from the eyeshadow, and then I used my MAC eyeshadow in Carbon to do the wing eyeliner, and then I just cleaned it on the sides to kind of sharpen the shape, and hopefully I'll be showing you that soon in another video where my camera is not so full. And then I setted my makeup with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is my travel size version. I'm nearly out. I need to buy a new one. And I set my makeup with this. This is really helpful to not only set the makeup, but also make it last longer. And also it kind of just helps to merge, you know, all the products together so that the skin looks more flawless. I curled my eyelashes with this. This is my Laura Mercier eyelash curler. So I'm just going to do this eye so you can see what I'm doing. I think you can see. So this is how they look without mascara, and this is how they look with mascara. And I'm using the Dior Show mascara, and this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite mascara of all times. I love this big wand. However, this is the normal version. I prefer the waterproof version. I feel like that one kind of just works better. It really curls the eyelash and makes it hold and makes them look really long, but at the same time voluptuous. I usually only do one layer. I don't do 2 layers. However, this mascara is meant to be like a mascara that you can kind of build up and do several coats if you wish. Now I kind of just do 1 layer. I find that's enough. I have, fortunately, I know I'm very blessed. I have very nice eyelashes. I mean, I have very long lashes. Well, but not very, very long, but I have a good eyelashes. It's always been my favorite feature for myself, so I make the most of it. I don't apply on my bottom lashes because I find that my eyelashes are quite long and I don't like them to then just be, you know, touching my under eye. Then there's some fallout and then the mascara kind of migrates, and it just gets messy. I don't particularly like that on me. And also my eyelashes are a little bit dark, so you can actually see a little shadow of them, so that's fine. I'm just gonna pick a little bit with my fingers, a little bit of mascara that kind of went onto my lower lashes, and I just don't like that look, so I'm just picking it ever so slightly. And I'm just gonna try and fix a little clump that I have here from the mascara. I'm using a tweezer. I'm gonna finish up with some lips. I'm gonna apply this lip liner from Chanel. It's in Rose Natural. Just find that applying a lip liner for me is indispensable. This is a very nice color. It just works with my natural lip color. And I also overdraw my lips a little bit. It's a must for me because I have very thin lips. For the lipstick, I'm going to use this Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the color Kim KW. This is my favorite color. It's a very nudie color. So you definitely, you see, you definitely need a lip liner with it, so you don't look like you're dead. However, I don't mind. I really like these kind of like nude colors. Very like kind of 60s. I just smack my lips together to blend the color. And I'm just gonna finish off with a little bit of lip gloss. I'm gonna use this one. This is from Ted Baker. I don't know if you can buy this in the store, but I bought it in an outlet. Just a little bit of gloss in the center of the lips so they look more fuller. I'm trying to go really close. So guys, this is the final look. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I also share a lot of beauty tips over there, and you can also see a little bit of my personal life. And I hope you've enjoyed this. If you stayed with me until the end, I want you to know I really appreciate it. And I'm trying to work really hard to make the videos of the best quality possible. And again, I just hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to give me a like. So I know you like this type of content, but also know that I really appreciate it that you stayed with me in this video. And I also want to give you a big thank you, all of you who have subscribed to my channel. At this moment, I think I have about 108 subscribers, which is really, really nice. It just makes me feel so happy, so excited, and just encourages me to keep on doing this and to do my best. I thank you so much. And I also just briefly want to mention to note that maybe some of you are watching the videos and you are not subscribed to YouTube. So I think it's very important that you have an account. If you don't really know how, try to find somebody that can help you. Because I know, because a lot of my family, they're watching my videos, but they don't understand that they need to have an account in YouTube in order to subscribe to my channel, and also to be able to give me a like or a comment or any of these things. So it's really important, and I thought I would just point that out. So without anything else to say, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.